Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about potential energy of an object at a height. Before discussing about potential energy, let us discuss about an activity. For this activity, we just want to take a rubber band. Okay, just hold it at one end, then pull it from the other end. The band stretches now. Its length has increased now. Okay, now when we release this band at one of the ends, see what happened? The band regained almost its original initial length. Right, how does this happen? See, when we stretch the rubber band, we actually transfer our energy to this rubber band. The energy transferred to this rubber band is actually potential energy. That is, some energy gets stored in an object when we do some work on it. The energy transferred to an object is stored as potential energy if it is not used to cause a change in the velocity or speed of the object. The potential energy possessed by an object is the energy present in the object by virtue of its position or configuration, like change in size, change in shape, etc. Now, let us see how to derive an expression for the potential energy of an object at a height. See, I have a pen here. We know that this pen is attracted by the earth with a force. So, to raise this pen to a particular height, I want to apply a force on it but against gravity. There is a gravitational force of attraction with which earth attracts this pen in the vertically downward direction. Right. So here to raise this pen to a particular height from the ground, we need to apply a force in the opposite direction, that is in the upward direction. Earth attracts this pen in the vertically downward direction. So, we want to apply a force in the upward direction to raise this pen to a particular height. So, to raise this pen, we apply a force on it and there is a displacement for this pen. The pen was initially here, now it is here. So, there is a displacement for this pen. So, we can say that we do some work here. This work done gets stored as this pen's potential energy. And this potential energy in such a case is actually called as gravitational potential energy. The gravitational potential energy of an object at a point above the ground is defined as the work done in raising that object from the ground to that particular point against gravity. Now, consider an object of mass m. Initially, it is on the ground. Let it be raised through a height small letter h from the ground. So, after raising it to a particular height h, the object reaches here. Okay, earth attracts this object in the vertically downward direction now with a force. What is that force actually? That force is actually equal to the weight of the object, which is equal to m into g. Okay, so a force, earth attracts this object in the vertically downward direction with this force m into g. Okay, so a force is required to raise this object to a height h from the ground. The minimum force required to raise this object is equal to what? That will be equal to the weight of the object or this force m into g. And here we are doing work on the object against gravity. We have the expression for the work done as the product of force and displacement now. Okay, so we can write W is equal to F into force into displacement. Here work done is positive. Why? Because we want to apply a force in the upward direction and the displacement of this object of mass m also along the same direction. It also displaces in the upward direction. No? Okay, so both the force and the displacement are along the same direction. So here the work done is positive. Okay, so this can be written as what is that force? Mg into S. Displacement is what? Here it is h. Okay, so this is the work done on this object of mass m to raise to a height small letter h. Okay, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. And this object gains an energy equal to this work done on it when it reaches here. So when this object reaches here, it gains an energy to raise this object. Initially the object of mass m is here on the ground. Then when we raise this object to a particular height h above the ground, we have to do some work on it, and that work done is actually equal to mgh. And this work done gets stored as its potential energy. So when the object is here, it gains actually some potential energy which is equal to this work done. Okay, that is, it actually gains an energy equal to this work done, and that energy gained by the object is actually called as potential energy of the object. Potential energy is represented by E subscript P, potential energy. So this work done is stored as potential energy, or the energy gained by the object, that is potential energy here, which is equal to the work done on it. That work done is mgh. So the potential energy gained by this object will be equal to what? The work done, mgh. Okay, so we are getting an expression for the potential energy as mgh. The work done by gravity depends on the difference in the vertical heights of the initial and final positions of the object, and not on the path along which the object is moved. That is, for example, consider a block of mass small letter m. Initially the block is here, that is, initial position of the block is A. Now let the block be raised from the initial position A to another position B, which is a final position, through this path. So the block reached here after traveling a distance of h. Okay, let this height AB be small letter h. That is, the vertical height is small letter h. What about the work done on this object or on this block? We know that to raise this block to a particular height, we have to apply some force on it, and there will be a displacement for this block. Okay, so we are doing some work on it, and that work done will be equal to what? mgh. Right, we have just seen mgh. Now, let the block, the same block, be raised from A to B, but through another different path. That is, here the path travelled is different, but the vertical height is the same h. Okay, here the path travelled is this, but here the path travelled is different from this, but in both cases the vertical height is the same. So in this situation also, the work done on the block will be equal to mgh. That is, the work done by gravity depends on the difference in the vertical heights of the initial and final position. So here the vertical height, the difference in the vertical height of the initial and final position is h, and here also h. Okay, so that work done does not depend on the path travelled or path along which the object is moved. Okay. So in this video, we have discussed about the potential energy of an object at a height. I hope you understood this. Thank you.